We are here with none other than Bo Nickel.
Jordan did an absolutely amazing job with the art and the card. I'm not interested in beating up on the elderly. So,
would you mind it if you become a villain and if you're hated?
For me, I had the foresight to see that I was going to become a big brand myself. I don't know that people really understand the effort that goes into doing that at a high level and a quality level. And so I feel good about what I've been doing, but at the same time, there's a lot more to do and a lot more to improve on.
Is there a current NCAA wrestler that you think would and maybe should compete in the UFC?
People want to see me fight, whether they want to see me get upset or whether they want to see me win. A lot of people want to watch me.
Shots fired. All right, I love it. I love it. Can I have you say "We are here" real quick?
Of course, we are here.
All right, folks, welcome back to BEG Wrestling. We are here with none other than Bo Nickel, ladies and gentlemen, the UFC's biggest up-and-coming star, here to talk to us about his new trading card, which is out now, brought to you by Jordan Spector and Spector Sports Art. You can get yours now, folks, by going to SpectorSportsArt.com. Bo, you're a big trading card guy. I checked this card out, and at first glance, it's cool. But the closer I looked, the more meaning and significance there was to it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the meaning behind the card and what it represents to you?
Yeah, so first off, Jordan did an absolutely amazing job with the art and the card. It's so cool, and there's so many little details that mean a lot to me. And so out of all the cards that have been made of me, this is definitely my favorite and what I appreciate the most. I mean, as you look at the card, you see obviously the iron sharpens iron at the top, and the 27:17 on my shorts, which is one of my favorite Bible verses. That's Proverbs 27:17. So as iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. And to me, that's just a testament to the community that I'm around and all the people that have poured into me and the people that God's blessed me with. And, I'm just very grateful for them. And as you look deeper, I have a couple quotes. I was fortunate to win Rookie of the Year in 2023 in the UFC, and that was pretty cool. And then you have, my high school and college record with the number of pins I have, the famous quote that I had, "That's what we do," after winning the NCAA tournament in 2018.
Yep.
And just overall, like some cool Penn State themes, stuff like that. And I think there's a little hidden gem in there as well. If you can find it, it's my son's name. So I'll just leave that one up to people, and they can try to find that one on their own. But that's kind of, the name of the card as well. So that's where that comes from, is my son, his name's Ace. And I was happy Jordan gave a little shout out.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I have a question for you a little later about Ace, but now a portion of the proceeds of the card are going to go to the Special Olympics of Pennsylvania. So I just want to ask you, why did you choose that organization?
Yeah, so 10% is of the proceeds are going to the Special Olympics, which is just an amazing organization, and I've volunteered and worked with the Special Olympics multiple times, and it's just, to me, my family, my dad and my grandpa and my mom, they all played sports, and my sisters all played sports, and sports are such a massive part of my life, and they were such a big part of my childhood, and big confidence builders for me and stuff. Obviously, I'm still competing, and so it's just something I appreciate, and I think giving everyone the opportunity to feel that excitement and exhilaration of what it's like to compete, and that just to me is something that is so important, and so just it hits a special place in my heart. So I'm happy to be able to support them some with the proceeds of the card.
Yeah, that's awesome. Folks, just another quick reminder, go to SpectorSportsArt.com now to get the card. Now, Bo, I'm going to change gears here a little bit. Speaking about the UFC, after your last fight, you said people will love you eventually. And you experienced some boos, from the crowd for maybe the first time. What type of persona are you going for in the UFC? And would you mind it if you become a villain and if you're hated?
It's interesting because as a college athlete, you obviously have a built-in fan base, but you also have on the opposite side of all these other fan bases that are automatically going to boo you and automatically want you to lose. And so, that's nothing new to me. And I think that if I look at my college career as I uh, grew and got better and improved, by the time I was a junior and senior, I think even if uh, people weren't a fan of me specifically. They respected me. Even Iowa fans, Oklahoma State, Ohio State fans. I had a lot of those fans, tell me they loved watching me compete and things like that. And so, really, that's I think probably going to be the case in MMA as well. Even if you're not a fan of me specifically, you can respect my skills. And so, I'm just looking to continue to build my reputation. And I don't think I have to play a persona or act any certain specific way. I'll just be myself. And I've been fortunate that people want to see me fight, whether they want to see me get upset or whether they want to see me win. A lot of people want to watch me, and I'll always have that super strong wrestling fan base of people that want to support me, and so that's something I'm really grateful for. And yeah, I think I'm more so just in a fortunate position where I don't have to act a certain way. I can just be myself.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right. So you've done some pretty funny social media videos recently, and you also have the Athletes Ocean, which you run. I want to ask you, how much time do you spend on your own personal branding, and is that like part of the gig, part of the UFC?
It's definitely important. I think that for me, I had the foresight to see that I was going to become a big brand myself and hopefully prepare for that. And so I uh, brought on a partner, Ronan Bell. He does all my content. So he was a marketing major at Penn State. I met him while he was in school. And he and I started working together um, over a year ago, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. And so for one person to manage, it would definitely be a lot. And we collaborate on a lot of the ideas, and so it's something that to me is definitely important when you're considering not only own personal brand but sponsorship opportunities. And just
Oh
I
yeah.
want to be able to interact with people authentically and show who I really am, but I don't know that people really understand the effort that goes into doing that at a high level and a quality level. And so I'm fortunate to have Ronan, who is an expert in that type of stuff. And so he's putting together, curating a lot of my social media posts, curating a lot of my YouTube videos, editing, and spending a lot of time on that. And it's definitely been fun to work with him.
Yeah, I mean, you're big enough of a brand now that you can hire someone to manage all that. But
Mm-hmm.
I got to ask you about Dana White. How much influence has he had on your career?
Well, if you think about it a lot, a ton, just because how quickly my career's gone. And, first and foremost, after my initial pro fight, the UFC was after me hard, wanting to sign me, just right away. And I think that at that point, you know, I kind of thought that I was going to have to fight on the regional scene, six, seven, eight more times just to get noticed. And they noticed me right away. I think because of the numbers that I was doing on UFC Fight Pass and how many people were wanting to see me. So, they obviously wanted to figure out a way to make it work. And from there, I think that I feel a lot of support from the business, just obvious based on where they've put me on the cards and you know the placement and stuff like that they believe in me. And so I think there's a huge part of the equation in my career is Dana White and the UFC. And I think that if anybody can predict who's going to be a future star and who's going to be a future champion in the sport, it would be him. So it feels good to kind of get that validation.
Would you consider him your mentor now? I mean, I would assume that Kale was probably your mentor in the past, right?
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say I consider him a mentor. I would say I consider him a partner, somebody who obviously has similar interests to me in my career. They want to build me up. They want to continue to see me improve and do better and fight bigger fights. And our interests align very much, just in the fact that the more people want to watch me and the bigger fights I get and the more I win, it equals dollars for the UFC as well. So that's something that I think we align on. And It's been really, really great to work with and really easy to work with. I think that he's treated me very well, and I appreciate again the support that he's given me to this point. Obviously, like I said, with where he's put me out on the cards, and also with just like words and what he's had to say to me in person.
Yeah, I mean he obviously sees the potential. What are some of the biggest differences
Yeah.
between now your UFC training now and we obviously everyone knows you from wrestling, and like what percentage of the time do you still spend on training wrestling?
I still train wrestling quite a bit. Generally, what my schedule looks like is a morning MMA practice at American Top Team, and then I'm in the Penn State wrestling room most afternoons training with the college guys or the NLWC guys. So, I'm working a lot of wrestling and keeping that sharp, and it's something I feel like has really helped me in my career. Some people forget that they're wrestlers and they just train striking or whatever, and for me, I'm always going to stay true to my roots. So, I'm still spending a lot of time. In the wrestling room.
Yeah, definitely helps to still be in that Penn State wrestling room. Let me just ask you, everything encompassed, are you where you want to be in your career right now? I mean, because critics would say that you've only fought one time in the past year. Are you worried about maybe some competitors making ground up on you during that time?
Not at all. I think that I guess there's two questions there. First off, I think that given this exact moment where I'm at, I've done the most with what I've been given, and so I feel like um, I feel good about what I've been doing. But at the same time, there's a lot more to do and a lot more to improve on, and so many things to get better at. So, I'm definitely looking to continue to grow as a fighter, get better, improve, and really, just continue to develop my game as an MMA fighter. And then, as far as people gaining ground on me, I definitely don't feel that way. Most people, when they're not in camp, they're sitting around eating potato chips and hanging out. And for me, even though I didn't fight this past 9 months, I was training every single day, working, getting better, improving, and I think I needed that for my development. Everything was happening so fast, and if you look at the beginning of my MMA career, which started in June of 2022 until July of 2023, I fought 5 times, in 13 months. And so that was quite an active streak. And I needed that time off to just develop and improve my skills and catch up to where my, I guess, career was at that point.
Yeah, agree. I mean, yeah, maybe a well-deserved break. All right, we have the Olympic team trials this weekend in Penn State. I believe you're going to be there signing autographs. And you've also been outspoken about folk style over freestyle wrestling. How do you think you would fare in folk style? I guess it would be the 86 kilograms this weekend.
Yeah, 86 kilos. There's a ton of amazing, talented wrestlers, and I feel like these guys are so dedicated and improving and doing so much better. And the sport's just evolving, and so I'm excited to watch. And I'm going to be sitting in a few guys' corners. One of those guys at 86 kilos is Aaron Brooks, and he's a 4-time national champion for Penn State and a guy that has big goals in wrestling. And so he's a guy that I'm looking forward to watching, and I definitely am glad that I'm not having to compete against him. He's a beast. So it's looking it's looking good for USA Wrestling as a whole, as far as the type of talent that we have coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I actually picked Brooks to upset David Taylor this weekend. But all right, Bo, I know you don't have a lot of time. I have some rapid fire questions for you here, and then we can just wrap this up. So if you're ready,
All right.
we all know that you and Jordan Burroughs are close friends. What would the result be between you and Burroughs in a UFC fight?
In a UFC fight, that's not competitive. That's not really something I'm not interested in. Beating up on the elderly. So, yeah.
Okay. Oh man, shots fired. All right. I love it. I love it. Okay. Who would you rather fight first right now? Khamzat, Burroughs, or Paul Mascarenhas?
Oh, Paul. Paul's a friend of mine. That's funny. Yeah, I love Paul. He's a
Oh,
good dude. I would definitely be it would definitely be Hamzat. You know, I feel like that's a fight everybody wants to see, so we'll make it happen. But yeah, Paul,
Okay.
that's funny you brought up Paul. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but I hope he's doing well.
All right, for the viewers, Paul, the Cleveland Sioux High School 2010. Was that the last time you did not win a title, right? Eighth grade or something, I believe. Yeah. But okay.
That was eighth grade, yeah.
All right, rapid fire. Is there a current NCAA wrestler that you think would and maybe should compete in the UFC after their NCAA career?
Yeah, there's a ton of guys that I think will do really well. I'll just name three: Carter Strachey, Aaron Brooks, and Greg Kirkfleet. All guys that I'm teammates with who are gonna have shown interest in fighting, and if they fight, then they'll be extremely successful.
Okay, all right. I agree with those. Mount Rushmore Penn State wrestlers.
If you're talking wrestlers specifically, that's a tougher question. For me, overall, Penn State Mount Rushmore would just be Coach Kale 4 times. He's the man. But yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of good wrestlers, so it's hard to even pick a single guy. Everybody has different accomplishments.
All right, but you would probably put yourself on there, right? I think that's fair to assume.
I don't know. After this past year, maybe not, just because we had 2 4-time champions in 1 year, so it's going to be. I think that it'll continue to evolve and grow, but there's a lot of guys that are doing big things.
Yeah, but
exactly.
You forever have the all-time greatest highlight. All right, just a couple of quick questions. I'm done.
He's got.
I have another interview, man.
Okay, man.
A little late to it.
Hey, Bo, thank you for the time. Can I have you say "We are here" real quick?
Of course, we are here.
All right, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm your biggest fan, man. Thanks again.
Bye. Appreciate you. Yep, have a good one.
You too.
Brought to you by BEG Sports. Like and subscribe.